Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
Welcome into Newhouse Afternoon. It's Drew Alba alongside Milo Hoffman up until 4 p.m. here on 97.7 ESPN Syracuse. Milo, a couple of big things to talk about today. First off, we'll lead off with big basketball news. A lot of change in the transfer portal, but some positives. At one point, it was almost a given that Syracuse was going to have to work with an entirely new roster. Do get two returners, Kai Anthony and Sadiq White. But first off, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It's gorgeous out. Back-to-back days now. Beautiful weather.
And then it'll be a blizzard tomorrow.
It's going to be a blizzard tomorrow, and it was a blizzard 3 days ago. So that's how it rolls here in the good old 315. But, you know, doing well. It's good to see everyone out enjoying their time. But, yeah, you talked about it. It's been a interesting start to Jerry McNamara's time as head coach of Syracuse. You know, I know we're going to get to Kai Anthony and Sadiq White coming back. Before we go forward and talk about those two soon-to-be sophomores coming back for Syracuse, you know, how about Donnie Freeman leaving for the portal and all these guys hitting the portal? Mm-hmm. Like
pretty much everyone that's not Kai and Anthony or Sadiq White.
And these people, and it was kind of expected that they were going to hit the portal at some point because of the situation this past year. But I don't know, like Donnie Freeman going to like a Kentucky, like how is he going to fare there? Is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be a bench guy? I mean, I know he's a 5-star recruit, and I mean, you were never a huge fan of Donnie Freeman. I remember one time you were talking about how he shouldn't start towards the latter third of the season after that, where he didn't start that one game. I believe it was against. It wasn't against Clemson, but it was one of those games. Clemson was the game he came back.
Right. But Donnie Freeman, at the end of the day, highest recruit since Carmelo Anthony, still, you know, even though his draft status has somewhat tanked over the last year or so.
Somewhat. I mean, this guy was projected to be a first rounder in a lot of situations, and now he's not even on many boards.
Now he's borderline undrafted. He's gonna go play somewhere. And even if it's Kentucky, even if it's a Duke, right? Malik Brown, for goodness sake, transferred from Syracuse and started on a really good Duke team this year. So I think it happens. And Donnie Freeman, what he'll always bring to the table, he'll bring upside defense, athleticism. He can drive to the paint. He needs to work on his outside shooting. But at this point, it's not Jerry McNamara and Syracuse's problem, because Donnie Freeman, you saw the rigmarole the first couple of years. Injuries riddled his time at Syracuse. Last year missed just under double-digit games for Syracuse. And at the end of the day, availability is the best ability. And Donnie Freeman's not on the court enough for Syracuse to consistently lean on. So despite what he brings to the table, which, granted, is a lot, would you love to have Donnie Freeman back? Sure, but you're at a point, Milo, where you have to start treating these college rosters almost with, cap space in mind.
Yes.
Again, NIL, do you want to allocate 50% of your NIL fund to Donnie Freeman? And I don't think that's maybe the best use of your resources.
I do think it's a fine situation for Syracuse to be in, because Donnie Freeman, like you said, would be going into his junior season with Syracuse, and clearly he's not it's got to be a two-way thing for in these situations. If one side does not want to be with the other, it's not going to work. That's the bottom line. So clearly, Donnie Freeman did not think it was going to work with Jerry McNamara. He was done with being, on Syracuse, and he moved on. I do kind of agree with you, though. I think that it's not the worst situation for Syracuse that their quote-unquote best player from the last couple of years has moved on. But what I do think is interesting is that Jerry McNamara, in his opening press conference with Syracuse a couple of weeks ago, said retention was the most important thing for this team. Like, you got to keep people is one of the more important things, and they've done that, but not really.
Yeah, but to be fair, maybe what he meant by retention is retention in his program, and he's now bringing back Gavin Doty, who he coached at Siena.
Like, I understand, but that's not retention.
It's retention from his group that he's bringing on.
Yeah,
which maybe he's kind of. I don't know, inspiring is the right word, but there's some sort of, bringing that group of guys over from Siena, maybe that same cluster and that same mentality that Siena Saints group brought over in that close loss to Duke. You're kind of trying to instill some of that here at Syracuse.
And it's a lot of the coaching staff, too, that's being pulled over to Syracuse as well. But like Nate George, Tyler Betsy, Akir Swara, like these guys are gone. And so if you're looking at it from that perspective, retention has not been that great. You've lost a couple of guys that played big roles on this past team. Now, is that the worst thing? Do I necessarily agree with the fact that Jerry McNamara went out there and said retention is one of the most important things? I don't know. I think it may be a good thing that this team is going out there and putting out a different look, right? I mean,
regardless of what G-Mac said, this is what's going to happen. Yeah. You're getting Sadiq White, you're getting Kyan Anthony, who didn't start most of the year, and those are your two guys coming back.
Does Kyan Anthony start next year?
And your 5 starters aren't. And I don't know if Kyan Anthony, again, we're asking these hypotheticals before we know what the roster construction looks like.
Oh, you love when I do that, right?
Well, because I can't predict what's going to happen in the transfer portal, but if Kyan Anthony is a starter next season for Syracuse, do you feel super confident in that?
No. Not at all.
Right. And I don't think
Kyan Anthony is a starter.
And I'm super happy that Kyan Anthony's coming back to the 3-1-5.
What's his peak? What's Kyan Anthony's peak?
A starter.
Is he an NBA draft pick at some point?
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of upside still to grow. He's a lot of upside still to grow.
I understand, but he's
a young kid.
He's a below average defender. He has some, he can handle the ball. He can slash to the cup, but
I mean, Milo, he turned 19 a month ago.
But let's be real. A lot of the time, you can really see if someone's got it, if they can be a draft pick.
Yeah, but you can bulk up as time moves on.
I understand, but I also don't think that bulking up is necessarily his biggest issue. I think it's like
it helps. He's 6'5", 180.
It definitely helps, but it's not just on the being bigger aspect too. It's his decision making. It's his the stuff that comes with being a good offensive player. I think he definitely lacked a little bit of it his freshman year as well.
But he always
turning
had
the ball over.
Yes, there was these rookie mistakes that you saw consistently from Kyan Anthony, but there was a lot of times where Anthony, he creates his own shot. I mean, for as much as you want to say, Kyan is not a spot-up 3 guy.
No.
Primarily. Yes, he can do that, but you can give Kyan the ball on either wing and let him go to work. And that's something you can't necessarily say, about a Tyler Betsy or, someone else in that line. So. Yeah. And Kyan Anthony has one of the best mentors in the game in Carmelo Anthony being his father.
And I do think Jerry McNamara being with Syracuse is going to help him a lot because
for sure
now Melo has that connection with GMAC, and so it's almost like GMAC trusts Melo. And Melo trusts GMAC. I don't know how much of that there was. I'm sure, former.
If it was a different hire, I don't know if Kyan's coming back.
Oh, I don't think he is.
Yeah.
I think it's because of that connection. But I just think it's interesting to bring up the point, whether or not Kyan Anthony is a draft pick in the future. Right now, I would probably lean no. I don't think I would see Kyan Anthony running in the NBA, but who knows? And there's definitely a lot of maturing that can be done. He's very young. And my point is that just a lot of the times now in the NBA, it's a lot of... you draft someone that kind of just got it right away and you pick them, right? Like, you don't really wait on these players anymore. Players are staying in college, but for the most part, the draft picks are still the 5-star recruits, the one-and-dones.
Mm-hmm. But you see guys rise.
Yeah, of course you do. But I'm saying for the most part...
Wagler. Yes, for Illinois, now going to be a top 10 draft pick, and he's a great example.
He
was a 3-star guy, undrafted, not even undrafted. He a lot of teams he would not start, and Illinois he absolutely flourished, and now he's top 10. So it happens. And Wagler, being a freshman and all of that, there was a little bit of unknowns going into his freshman year, but I think Kyan Anthony still the ceiling is high enough to be. Not just a contributor on the Syracuse basketball team, but be one of the main couple of guys that scores 15-plus points a game. That's a possibility. But there's also a possibility where you start Kyan Anthony and the same things happen, where he's shooting super inefficient. I mean, there was a point where his BPR, which is pretty much an overall consensus of your offensive statistics, was bottom 10, not in the ACC, in the entire NCAA. Like, he was a bottom 10 efficiency basketball player.
Yeah.
The whole thing included. And he wasn't shooting the ball well. He was turning over I mean, there was many things happening for Kyan Anthony. But with that being said, you see flashes, and you see why he definitely not only could be a huge contributor for the Syracuse team next year, he could be a starter, and really the sky's the limit for Kyan Anthony. Drew Albaugh alongside Milo Hoffman here on Newhouse afternoon up until 4 p.m. talking Syracuse hoops, who's in, who's out. We talked a little bit about who's leaving really quick. It's Donnie Freeman, George, Betsy Diawara, Fennell, Soare, and Womack all out. And then the transfers in so far, Gavin Doty from Siena and Tasman Goodrick, also from Siena, both sophomores. And then you also you have the kid from Slovenia, Mark Mamutovic, who's 19 years old, shoots the lights out from deep, almost 40% from three. He's probably the biggest guy coming in so far for Syracuse.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean,
Gavin Doty's pretty good. He was first team All-MAC last year. He averaged double digits. So he's a baller and played really well against Duke. So he showed he can do it against good talent. But it's Mamutovic and it's it's also Doty. Those are the two.
He's a sniper from deep, Mamutovic, and someone that people are comparing to, like, I have seen comparisons out there to not necessarily the gameplay of Luka Doncic, but just because they're both European prospects coming over from overseas. Like, of course, there's going to be some sort of all these European prospects. Who is he like? They're saying he's up there, obviously not as good as Luka, but he's a highly touted guy. He's a highly touted guy that's
Luka
a really
Doncic?
good pull. No, I'm not comparing him to Luka Doncic, of course, but I'm saying that he is a guy that that should bring a lot of promise to the Syracuse team, and that's going to bring a lot, especially on the offensive side. He's a great three-point shooter. He can move the ball around from what I've seen on his tape so far. A guy that hopefully can really work into this Jerry McNamara regime. And
he's played against grown men for years now.
It's almost like this Uche Zoje situation on the women's side. Like, he has been playing against guys who are professional.
Right.
And Izoje came over on the women's basketball side, and she absolutely dominated. I think it's a little bit different. I think that Mamutovic coming over and playing against Division I basketball players in the United States is still going to be a tough task.
Yes, for sure. And, just for reference, a guy like Luka Doncic, right? When he was 16 years old, he was playing for Real Madrid, I believe it was, in the Spanish league. This cat is playing in the Slovenian Pro League. So it's a step below, but he still's played there for over a year now. He averaged 13 points and 3 rebounds in a professional basketball league with plenty of retired D1 guys who are over there playing against him. So he's played against this talent now. He just turned 19 in February. He's young. He's 6'7". He shoots 39% from 3. There's a lot to like. And he finished second in scoring at last year's summer's FIBA U18 Eurobasket tournament for Slovenia.
Yeah, the spreadsheet on him with all the measurements and what he brings to the table, this guy could be a really good player.
Right.
And Syracuse,
he already is.
And he already is. Now, you kind of got to wait to see how it translates to the American play, and to Division I ball and the ACC play. History
shows European guys transfer over. You see it with Illinois. Yeah. I mean, Illinois had all the Eaches. There's like 4 of them that they would all.
Is that a saying? Like the Eaches?
No, they just all ended with Each.
I understand. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was already existing.
But, no. But
nice.
Illinois, what they do, they have a scout go over to Europe every month.
Yeah.
Scouting 12 months of the year, and Brad Underwood makes it very clear for Illinois, we are scouting talent. Not really from high school anymore. We're getting it from the transfer portal, and we're getting it from Europe. And those are the two avenues that they're really trying to bring, and you see what happens. Illinois makes the Final Four.
Yeah.
And it's with a lot of these guys that, from the outside looking in, are quote-unquote inexperienced 18, 19-year-olds, but they've been playing pro basketball for 2 or 3 years now.
The basketball world is moving into the European
shifting.
landscape
It's
completely. I mean, you
transforming.
even look at the NBA. Like in the NBA All-Star Weekend, situations with the world versus the U.S. and stuff like that. It is the Europeans are almost favored over the U.S. So I'm not saying that that's going to completely take over, but right now you make a good point. Scouting over in Europe for these players, these sort of under-the-radar guys like Mamutovic, could be really good for Syracuse in the long run, and hopefully that he pans out for SU. I feel like SU needs that European guy who comes over and sort of just takes over. Dolajai was here a couple of years ago for Syracuse, and he was a fan favorite. Like guys like that can really stand out amongst everyone playing over here. So excited to watch him play in a few months.
For sure. Just for the record, Illinois has 2 Ivasiches, a Mirkovic, Stojakovic, and a Petrovic.
There you go.
All on the team, and it worked out for Illinois, certainly. Ended in the Final Four. But, all right, we still got plenty of time here on Newhouse Afternoon. It's Drew Alba alongside Milo Hoffman up until 4 p.m. We're going to take a quick break. Right afterwards, though, we're talking some hoops, but the talk of the town right now, Syracuse lacrosse, and boy, the schedule does not get any easier. We'll break that down right after this on Newhouse Afternoon.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yankees are being no hit right now in the 7th.
You can bring that up for sure.
Yes, I'm good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It's almost like you know each other.
How long is it? How long is this break?
It's like 4 minutes.
Now a few minutes.
Yeah, 3.5, 4.
6 foot, 7 foot.
Oh, come on, please don't get no hits. That's really embarrassing. What?
What? You can't get back here?
We do want to all four of you guys. Yeah. Oh, we can't?
Oh, we're just on.
Yeah, she can get it, yeah.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, it's okay. Do you guys want one, just the three of you?
Sarah
Okay.
would like it too. Okay. Awesome.
Thank you.
Wow, in between break, I love it. For any of our Twitch listeners, that was Don't worry. On Newhouse Afternoon.
Please. What is going on? We haven't scored a run in
Yeah, welcome to the club.
16 innings.
Yep, we lost 3-0 last night.
Yeah.
1-0. Yeah. By the A's?
Yeah.
Really?
This guy is shoving. Is it still the same guy?
Is he Jeffrey Springs?
Oh my god, he's still in. Yeah, he's 79
6 and
pitching
third.
out. Please don't. Please get a hit here.
But Mediups is good.
Yeah, it was good. Gary was kind of just.
We can talk about it on.
Yeah, he was good. Oh, jeez. What is going on? 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. And then talk to this other guy, Dan Arestia, who's also good for my piece. He was good inside.
Good.
Good. Nope. Oh, you're challenging.
The Springs guy's third all last year.
What?
The Springs guy. 1.2 whip, 4.41 ERA. 30 starts.
So just missed. This catcher just got really.
He's a good player, but
Yeah, I know. We're not gonna get no hit. Trust me. We'll lock in.
theoretically you're closer to getting no hit than not.
Way closer. Both teams have no ABS challenges remaining. It's an old school game.
Until it gets to extras.
Nope. All right.
Did you register?
No. Tomorrow at noon. What are you?
I'm at banquet. I wanna know.
For banquet. There's the first hit, and guess who it is?
Ben Rice.
Yep. Let's go.
Go figure.
Always comes through. You did it again.
Consistent. Like the tide.
Consistent like the tide, baby.
Yes, sir.
Thank God. That would have been
All right.
perfect.
ESPN 97.7 and 100.1. Watch live on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Back here on Newhouse Afternoon. It's 3:20 on Thursday, April 9th. About 40 more minutes with you. Here, Milo Hoffman alongside your Alba talking Syracuse men's basketball and all its new additions. Syracuse men's lacrosse in action coming this weekend against Virginia. A big one going down in the Dome. One of 3 games actually happening in the Dome on Saturday. You've got women's lacrosse starting the day off
third fake game,
at 12. You've got men's lacrosse at 4, and then to cap it off at 7:30, the Syracuse football spring game. So a lot going on inside the Dome. If you got time, make it out there on Saturday. So, talking about Syracuse men's lacrosse, you'll lose against number 2 UNC, now number 1 UNC in
Not
the country.
close. It didn't feel close.
Not
the whole
close.
game.
And you were at that game. Just before we get into this Virginia game, what did that contest look like? And like, was Syracuse kind of just blown out of the water? Like, was it that bad?
I mean, you lose by 5 goals and you score 9. So,
right.
It didn't feel close, to be honest with you. It felt like Syracuse wasn't way worse in anything, but they were worse in everything by like a marginal amount, right?
And that's almost worse.
Yeah. It didn't feel like you could point to one thing in particular. Yes, goalies, I think maybe would be the biggest thing you could point to. Jimmy McCool didn't play well at all. Got pulled in the third quarter. And then Johnson, on the other side, he had himself a heck of a game and gives up just the 9 goals with double-digit 15 saves, I believe. That's a career high for him. So that was something you could point to, but it just felt like UNC was better in everything. UNC's star player came to play. Dom Petramala, 5 goals. On the other side, Joey Spallina held without a point. Yeah. First time that's happened since the Princeton game, which was arguably Syracuse's other worst game of the season. So you can point to that. You point to the defense. You can point to the face-off X. At one point, John Mullen was holding its own. And then all of a sudden, you blink, you miss it, and Syracuse loses that battle by 5 or 6 face-offs as well. So there was really nothing you could point to that Syracuse did better.
Yeah, and I was talking to Gary Gate earlier today and talking to Finn Thompson, who's available, and they were talking about how, you got to have a short memory, obviously. You got to have it, go right back out against Virginia. But more specifically on Joey Spallina and the fact that he had 0 points and didn't really get involved on the offensive side. Like, that's not the end of the world, they were saying. At least Finn Thompson was saying. He said if Joey Spallina's locked up, if the game plan is on Joey and
Finn
he's going to be taken out. Yes.
Well, of course Thompson's going to say that.
Yeah, he's saying like it's up to the other players to step up, and he said he needs to do a better job of doing that, and sort of going into that role and taking advantage of the new open space.
Right, but Finn Thompson's never going to say, as one of the bigger attacking presences on this team. It doesn't matter. If Joey Spallina's playing bad, we're not going to win. But I think we've seen time in and time out, if Joey Spallina doesn't play well, Syracuse doesn't win.
Yes, I mean, there have been other situations against Denver. Spallina only had 2 points and they won, giving Denver's not as good as North Carolina, obviously.
And Syracuse won by 1 goal.
Yeah, it's true.
So did Syracuse play well?
It's true. Yeah.
So, I mean,
if Spallina doesn't play well, then
Spallina is the straw that stirs the drink for Syracuse.
But
it happens time and time again where the defense, if they solely focus on shutting down Joey Spallina, A, they usually do it, and B, it shut down the whole offense. And it happened against Princeton, it happened against Harvard to some degree, it happened against Penn to some degree, and then it happens against UNC.
But I do think that Spallina also does a whole lot, and this came up the other day when in a conversation I was having. Lacrosse doesn't do hockey assists. So in hockey, it's the secondary assist is also counted on the score sheet. So like if I were to pass to you, then you were to pass to someone and then they score, I would also get credited with an assist. Mm-hmm. Lacrosse doesn't do that. And a lot of the time Spallina is in that situation where he is dishing the ball off to someone who then picks up the assist and then therefore he doesn't get the point. So he is involved. He's of course always going to make an impact on the field.
So
right, exactly.
But Milo,
the point is that you can't just look at the score sheet and say he has 0 points and say, okay, he didn't show up, therefore Syracuse lost. Like, there are so many other factors that go into it.
For sure. And Spallina affects the game in so many different ways that you don't even necessarily notice on the stat sheet. But with that being said, if you want to just dumb it down and look at, okay, when does Joey Spallina score, play the worst, quote unquote, on these easy terms to look at, points, and when does Syracuse play the worst, they correlate. So Joey Spallina's 4 worst games of the season, 3 points or less, had 3 points against Harvard, 0 against Princeton, 2 against Denver, and 0 against North Carolina. And if you want to point to Syracuse's 4 worst games, it's probably those 4. You lose against Harvard, you lose against Princeton, you barely sneak it out against a Denver team that's good, not great, and you get destroyed by North Carolina. And those are the 4 games where Joey Spallina scores 3 or fewer points. So I understand he affects the game in so many other ways. And yes, even in those games where he scores 0 points, he still is drawing at least 1 defender, sometimes 2 away from the play. But it's not enough.
Against UNC, it was mostly 2 for the most part. They were doubling him almost the entire time.
But it works.
Yeah.
And Syracuse scores 9 goals, which is the first time Syracuse hasn't scored double-digit since March 1st against Penn.
Yeah.
Where Syracuse somehow snuck that one away. I mean, if the Orange lost against Penn, we might be having a different conversation now.
That was the game-changing moment
if Syracuse lost against Penn, then the Orange are pretty much in the NCAA tournament, regardless of what, as long as you beat Colgate. You beat Colgate, you're in, and that's going to happen. But if Syracuse lost against Penn, you would have needed to take at least one of Virginia, Notre Dame, or the ACC tournament. You would have needed one of those 3.
Yep.
You beat Penn, and now you can limp to the finish line and still get in the tournament. But do you want to be limping to the start? No.
Yeah.
Because the start is postseason lacrosse.
Now, I will say postseason is different, and last year the team had their ups and downs and moments where they didn't look great, but they still ended up making a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
Back-to-back losses to end the year in the regular season.
Yeah,
and then goes on to go to the championship.
Exactly. So that's my point. I'm saying you can stumble into the NCAA tournament and still make an impact. It's not ideal by any means, and of course that's not what you want to do when you go into every game with the hope to win the game. I'm just saying that Joey Spallina, if he doesn't put up 6 points, it doesn't mean that he didn't have a good game. Now, if he's putting up points, I think there's a better chance that he had a good game.
If he puts up 0 points, he had a bad game.
Yes, I do.
You can
agree
make the argument all you want. Yes, he affects 0 points.
0 points is not good.
If you are the best player,
you can't be putting up 0
not
points.
on the team. If you're the best player in the country, which many people consider him to be, you have to do more than that.
This team doesn't win the national championship, and I'm confident in saying this, if Spallina averages under 3 points a game moving forward.
And you see that. The 4 times he's done that, Syracuse has probably had their 4 worst
Peyton
games.
Anderson, Michael Leo, Luke Roa, Finn Thompson, they're all great, but you need your best player.
They're not Spallina.
And I think that there's a fine line between Spallina still makes an impact without putting up 6 points a game, and that's definitely what has happened the last couple of games. And then there's the other side where, okay, Spallina's putting up 0 points, and even though he may be picking up these quote-unquote hockey assists, it's still not enough for Syracuse.
And the big criticism of Spallina pretty much from when he got here on campus is that in big games, he doesn't always show up, and he's not a great dodger. And those are the two things that people have kind of put on Spallina as his quote-unquote only flaws. And over time, he started to dwindle those away. But last year, in the Maryland loss in the NCAA tournament, Spallina finishes with just 1 point, I believe. I can double-check that. Against North Carolina, 0 points last time out. So there's still these big games where Spallina doesn't always come to play. And at the end of the day, to be a great dodger, right around the crease area, that plays regardless. And Spallina sometimes, I wouldn't say timid's the right word, but he almost is looking for that pass instead of looking for the shot.
He's a playmaker. I mean, he leads the team in assists by a big margin.
Great, but once in a while, the same thing in basketball. Like Kobe Bryant's going to shoot his 40 shots a game.
Yeah, but lacrosse is very different.
Yes, but I want that killer mentality once in a while where, okay, Joey, it's the third quarter, you're without a point. Go get a goal.
And I saw that early in the season. I saw that against Maryland. I know that was the big game early in the season. Spallina looked like he was a beast. Not that he hasn't been for the rest of the season, but there he looked like he had something in his eye. He was like, all right, this is it. I am the guy.
Maryland, he finished with just 1 point against Maryland last year, and then this season turned it around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I think that he does need to bring back sort of that. I am the best player on the field. I am one of the projected top picks in the upcoming PLL draft, which is, by the way, next week, which is very weird.
And the WLL draft is right after.
Yeah, it's very odd. It's similar to baseball, how the MLB draft happens during the season, I believe it.
No, I don't. I think it's in July.
Is it in July?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I think it's just after the season, but they're definitely at least getting ready for it.
You're right.
During the
season. Mean? No. Yeah, the MLB draft is in July.
Right.
Which is right in the middle of the season.
No. During what? Not the college season, though.
No. Oh, no, I'm talking about the MLB.
Right.
I guess, okay, yeah, I'm talking about
the college season ends, though. But yeah, it's during the MLB draft. MLB season.
Okay, but that's still weird in my opinion.
I think the comparison would be if the MLB draft was in May.
Right, in the college baseball season.
And it's you're getting ramped up for the college.
Okay. But I think still is weird, though, that draft happens.
But the top prospects at Texas or whatever in the MLB draft, they're done with Texas by that point.
Yes, yeah.
But here in the PLL, Joey Spallina is going to get drafted, and then he's going to try to go win a championship. So it's slightly different.
I mean, it's kind of funny that you bring that up because it's similar to Mark Mamutovic. His professional league is still going on right now. And he's now committed to Syracuse. It's a weird situation. It's kind of like the Lane Kiffin situation where you're playing for another team, or you're signed to another team, but you still have your original team. It's not a weird situation. Anyways, that's a tangent on the PLL draft. But the bottom line is that Joey Spallina, I think we've come to the conclusion that if Syracuse is going to win the national championship, he needs to go out there and
it starts with Virginia next week, who really quick before we move on from
red hot.
Yeah, a team that started 3-4. Losses, kind of left and right, and Lars Tiffany and that group seem to be not only with their backs against the wall. It felt like, all right, this Virginia team is going to be by far the bottom of the barrel of the ACC when you look at the other 4 teams. And now all of a sudden, this Virginia team has won 4 straight, including wins against Duke and Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So you blink, you might miss it.
That's why lacrosse season is very entertaining because, you lose a couple of games in a row, you ring off 4 straight against top teams in the nation. All of a sudden, you're a top 10 team, and people are looking at you like you're dangerous. And Virginia was expected to be a really good team coming into the year, and they just kind of fell off the face of the earth at the start, but now they're back into their groove.
And Syracuse to guarantee ACC tournament play, that's not guaranteed yet.
No.
If Duke wins its next 2 and Syracuse loses its next 2, and everything else goes according to plan for all the other teams, Syracuse could still be 5th and out.
Yeah.
So you gotta try to win one of these next 2, and it's not going to be easy, not at all.
Wouldn't that be a twist? But you never know what's going to happen. So you just got to stay tuned to find out. All right, we've got just about 27 more minutes with you here on Newhouse Afternoon. A whole lot more to break down. We're up against a break, but stay with us right here on 97.7 ESPN Radio. Thank you.
Thank you.
97.7 ESPN Radio.
Yeah, I'm going to look up the ACC.
Good thing Ryan Weathers is dealing.
1-1.
1-0.
1-0 still.
1-0.
Yeah, so Duke is 0-2. Syracuse is 1-1. But Syracuse, I don't know what the second tiebreaker is.
Duke is 0-2. Syracuse is 1-1.
I don't know if it's head-to-head.
Right.
I would assume it is, in which case Syracuse, that's huge, because Syracuse would have it over Duke.
Yeah.
But, like, let's say Duke wins its next two, and Syracuse loses its next two.
That would be crazy.
I think the Orange could be fifth.
Yeah.
Which would be very bad.
Yep, that would suck for you.
Yeah. Men's lacrosse, ACC. Tiebreakers.
Yeah.
Head-to-head records.
Okay.
So that's good for Syracuse, because if Syracuse, let's say, worst case scenario, if they lose its next two games against Notre Dame and Virginia, and SU's 1-3 to end the ACC, even if Duke picks up a win in its next two, it would still not be enough.
Right. Yeah. No, they're going to make it.
Syracuse has got to, or Duke's got to win out.
I mean, Syracuse is not going to lose to Colgate. That's the thing.
But that doesn't matter. I'm saying ACC.
Just ACC play? Yeah.
The Colgate game's irrelevant.
Yeah. Well, not really. It could be the most important game of the season. Some are saying. Literally.
Who is saying that?
I don't know. Some people.
Yeah,
Joey's
Duke plays Notre Dame in North Carolina to end the year.
Notre Dame and North Carolina.
So if Duke loses,
that's tough.
If Duke needs to win both of those.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
What are we? Dude, we suck. We're awful. We're really bad.
At least we haven't lost 5 straight.
Yeah, well, we haven't scored in 18 innings.
You want to talk some Yankees right now?
Sure.
Maybe a little quicker block.
Yeah.
Like, out at 40-5. Talk some Yanks.
Come on, Rosario. Get on here, kid.
Here we go, kid. Here we go, kid.
Imagine he's another homer here. Oh. On the road again.
5 under through 17.
5 under.
He's tied for first.
Wow.
You can talk about that too.
Yeah, we probably should talk about that, actually. I don't know, too much, but...
Yeah, I mean... It's not like that exactly.
So, yeah, McElroy was 5 under through first.
Just follow my lead. No one went for Cass this morning.
For you? Really?
Not a soul. Good stuff, team.
I got 2.
Really?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I scheduled a few meetings for Sunday.
Syracuse sports talk shows on QSportsTalk.com. Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Welcome back. It's Drew Alba alongside Milo Hoffman. 20 minutes with you here on ESPN Syracuse Q Sports Talk. And Milo, we were talking lots of Q sports, of course. Men's basketball this time of year are always an entertaining subject. And the lacrosse team, somehow it's season winding down, which is crazy to think.
Flew by.
You blink and all of a sudden there's 2 games left.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like the season was just sort of gearing up. But now it's
now
like we're talking about
full
the
gear.
ACC tournament. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. But hey, you look at your calendar, it is April 9th, which also means baseball in full swing officially. Now over 10 games in for most teams in the MLB, I'd consider that we're in baseball season, folks. And the New York Yankees, a good start to the season for sure, 8-3, but coming off a loss, an off day, and now down 1-0 to the A's in the bottom of the 8th. It's been 17 innings now since the Yankees won?
Scored in the first inning of yesterday, so that's 8 plus 7 is 15. Okay, so 15, about to be, they're in the bottom of the 8th right now, still have not scored a run.
Right.
So, baseball's funny. You go into dips, you go into highs, and that's exactly what baseball's all about. And it sucks when, a team goes into a dip and it looks like they've never seen a ball before.
Yeah, one hit, by the way.
One hit.
For the Yankees.
Yeah, shout out Ben Rice.
Your guy, Ben Rice.
Ben Rice did come through. We actually saw Ben Rice play here against the Syracuse Mets a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Maybe last year, actually, like early last year. I think it was just that short time ago.
Wait, but it would have been 2 MLB seasons ago, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Last year, September.
Yes, you're right.
So
right. Last year, September. Yeah. Because he was up, I believe, all of last season with the Yankees.
The Rail Riders, was it?
Scranton Rail Riders. Yep, that's the AAA team of the Yankees. So there are fun times in the baseball season, but there are, of course, sad times. And right now, the Yankees are trying to avoid back-to-back losses for the first time this season. But overall, good start for this team.
8-3.
Yeah,
right.
That. It's like welcome to talking about the Yankees, right? 8-3.
The expectations are just
all of a sudden everyone.
You were complaining because you're obviously a big Yankees fan, Miles. You were complaining when the Yankees lost a random Sunday game to the Marlins. And then, was it the Marlins?
Yeah.
And then the next day was an off day, and you were like, oh, my goodness, it almost feels like the Yankees are because it's an off
because
day
when
and
you
it's
lose,
a loss.
when you lose and you have an off
it's like
day,
you're 8-2. It's it'll be okay.
Right. I mean,
but it's true. The Yankees, the expectations always are World Series or bust.
Always. And overall, the pitching has been excellent so far to start out the year for the Yankees. Even today, Ryan Weathers, who came over from the Marlins, he went 8 innings of just 1-run ball. So really nice to see him settle in. But the offense has definitely been in a lull. The lineup, though, is very strong in my opinion, and it's strong top to bottom almost, especially when you have guys like Rosario coming off the bench, Ahmed Rosario making an impact like he did a couple of games ago against the Marlins or against the A's, that was, hitting 2 home runs 2 games ago. So it's, it is what it is. You kind of just got to grind through these moments. I know we're 8-4 if the Yankees lose this game, but still a fun time.
Yeah, for sure. Not too far away, sticking in the Big Apple. The Mets, on the other hand, rubber match between the Diamondbacks. New York took Game 1, Arizona Game 2 yesterday, and then today at 7, Game number 3. The Mets, again, a good start, 7-5. Not as great as the Yankees, but you definitely take that, especially a year removed from one of the more disappointing seasons in memory for the Mets. And that's saying something because the Mets have had a few of those as well. But looking so far so good over there. Juan Soto and company doing its thing in the early part of the season.
Yeah, Juan Soto's injured right now, though. Soto strained his
Soto
calf,
shuffle,
I believe.
Not
so
shuffling all too much right now.
Yeah, he'll be injured for a couple of weeks.
But he'll be. It's not a long-term
not too bad
thing.
So he'll be back in no time. Moving on from baseball, just for a sec, the Knicks are in action tonight against the Celtics in a big matchup here down the stretch of the season. There are
seeding on the line here.
3 more regular season games to go in the NBA season, and yes,
it's crazy. It's almost like under the radar, the Knicks, and now all of a sudden you're going to get into playoff basketball, and that's going to completely flip on its head.
Oh, completely. And I love this time because it's like it's a perfect breather because you're all like Knicks. If you're a Knicks fan or wherever team you root for, and then you get a quick breather if you're a baseball fan. It's like, okay, well, just when you start to get kind of sick of the NBA season, you're like, all right, the playoffs need to come. You can focus on baseball for a little bit, and then once your team goes into its inevitable lull in baseball 2 weeks into the season, you're right back to playoff basketball. So that's exactly what's happening right now.
Dang near 2 months.
Oh my God, it's so long. If your team goes on a run, it's forever. It's like you wake up on June 7th and your team is like still playing.
I remember last year, the last 2 years, kind of just being friends with you and walking around or whatever, you have to like plan your next month and a half based off of the Knicks. It's like, game 5 of whatever, game 2 of them. I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is game 30 of the playoffs. It feels like.
Oh, it's a lot.
It's a lot of basketball that as a Knicks fan you feel like you need to quote unquote need to watch. So entertaining for sure, but I feel like the MLB moves a little faster. Because there's not...
No. Oh, the playoffs?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. I think the playoffs, yes. The season, obviously.
No. But I'm saying the playoffs and the NBA playoffs just seem to last.
It is really... It's a long... I will say, the MLB season, like... Right now, I feel like the season's kind of moving quickly, but it happens every year to me when I wake up in like August.
It's like, they still got a month and a half.
like what's going on? Or not even August, like July. It's like, wow, this has really been going for a while.
Right.
Like the dog days of summer are just real.
Stretches on.
The season is very long, but. Yeah, the NBA playoffs are a doozy, so hopefully the Knicks can
a few more games left
and keep it exciting. And you also got the NHL playoffs. The Sabres back in the playoffs, breaking the longest drought in NHL history. The Islanders are fighting for a spot to be in the playoffs.
They did not help their case at all.
Fired their head coach.
Yeah. It's still mathematically possible? ?
Yes. Yes, it is. But it's definitely not looking great, and it was looking promising for a while after now you've lost 4 straight games for the Islanders, and it's really turned on them. Not eliminated yet, but not looking good. So very disappointing on that front. And the Rangers are obviously long gone.
Madison Square Garden, obviously the Rangers, they've been long gone. So.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. That's a fun time. Like you got the Rangers one night, the Knicks the other night. Now it's just going to be all focused on the Knicks, obviously, in the playoffs.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Well, that was our sports roundup around New York. Lots of things happening here. April, man. Every sport seems to coincide outside of football. And there's even some Masters going on, and we'll talk about that after this break. 14 more minutes with you here on Newhouse Afternoon. Drew Albaugh alongside Milo Hoffman. One more break for you, and then we're closing up shop here on Newhouse Afternoon.
Perfect.
Oh, perfect.
Gosh. Oh my God.
Yeah, I need to figure out what's happening in the Masters.
Hello, friends.
I love the theme song.
Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. Kind of sounds like a Wii theme song.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Wii music was probably based off of it.
Yeah. Also, the best thing about the Masters is that you can just look it up and watch it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like the NCAA tournament
you
where
just
it's
look up masters.com and it's on?
Is it like you only have a certain amount of time?
I don't think so. No.
Whoa,
jeez. Wow. That was
with the microphone.
A lot.
Yeah, Sam Burns, -5 through 18, and then McIlroy. See, I feel like he's gonna play even not better, obviously, because he won it last year. But
he didn't win it last.
Yeah, he did.
Oh yeah, that was last year. Yeah. Wow, there's been so many tournaments in between that I've seen him struggle.
No, that was last year.
Yeah, I know. Wow.
He's gonna play with, I feel like, some sort of freedom that might loosen him up a little bit, because it's not like the monkey on his back that he needs to get off.
Ooh.
With Tiger and Phil not in it this year?
Yeah.
Yeah. Rory's like not the only, obviously, like Scheffler and everything, but like,
Yeah.
he's like the not older, but he's old. I would say he's older now, like 36. So yeah,
He's a vet.
he's a vet. What's Scheffler? 29.
He's under 3.
See, like Scheffler, like you let him hang around, and then Saturday, Sunday
Yeah.
rolls around. It's like, oof. Jason Day. I like Jason Day. He won U.S. Open. He won the Open this is the past year. Sound right? You have no idea. He won.
God, man, I want to play golf so badly.
Jason Day. Maybe we're thinking
Doesn't
of
that look
someone
so
else.
fun right now?
I'm thinking of someone else. He won the PGA Championship in 2015.
Just like perfect weather out. Just
Oh my God, I would love to play. You know what's crazy? Like you look up Masters and still half the stories are Tiger Woods.
Really?
Like if you like scroll down, and, like that happened like weeks ago. You're watching?
Yeah.
Mine's just not working.
I think it is.
No, it's not. You silly goose. It's just not working. It's just spinning and spinning away.
Rory just finished his day.
Can I see?
5 under.
Good job, Rory. Him winning it back-to-back would kind of say. Have you seen
He
his?
shot a 6, 7.
Have you seen his? Have you seen his Champions dinner?
His what?
His Champions dinner layout.
No, what was it?
It's pretty good. It's like Wagyu steak and or salmon.
Yeah.
It was very like not Irish.
Right.
And he was asked like, why didn't you not make it more traditional Irish? And he was like, I want to enjoy the food too. He was like dissing the Irish food. It's very funny.
What is Irish?
It's like all like the potatoes and it's like the more like hearty like stews and all that.
Yeah, I guess. What?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, like the
Fish and chips, yeah.
fish and chips is more British though.
Yeah, I feel like that is British. Fish and chips is like Icelandic. I remember having that in Iceland.
I would say fish and chips is pretty British.
Yeah, fish and chips.
It is.
Oh my God.
Fish and chips originate.
Lowest first round scores.
England.
Wow, this is Rory's second lowest first round
by
score.
Jewish immigrants. Shout out. Yeah, by both of us, collective.
He went.
This is so annoying. I really want to watch this.
Tomorrow's broadcasting stars today. Broadcasting live from the campus of Syracuse University. This is Newhouse Afternoon.
Back here on Newhouse Afternoon with Drew Albaugh. I'm Milo Hoffman. Just about 8 more minutes to go here on Newhouse Afternoon on this beautiful Thursday here in Syracuse. And speaking of beautiful, the Masters are commencing.
Wow.
Here in Augusta. Not here, but in Augusta.
That is one of the sporting events.
Oh, it's so...
I need to go before...
Yeah.
Before my time on this earth departs. I have to go to the Masters.
Yeah.
Everything I've heard is that it is just a one-on-one experience. You can't bring your phones.
Yeah.
Which is like awesome to me.
Yeah.
They have all of like the super iconic food and
just the vibe.
Corner.
Perfect weather.
Like, oh my goodness.
Gorgeous course. Everything about it is awesome. So yeah, going to the Masters is definitely on the bucket list of things to do.
But it's not, I mean, it's not just something you can go do is the problem.
Right. You kind of got to know people.
Or you have to, I think there's like a waiting list. That people are on it for like years and then you just randomly get selected. And, you know, I was watching something with Scott Van Pelt and he's been to practically every big sporting event you can imagine of anything ever. Because like, that's just what he does for a living. Yeah. But even he says the Masters, there's just something about it. That
the aura.
Yeah. He said that whatever your expectation is going in, it could be, you could think it's the best thing ever going into it, and it will still exceed your expectation. So,
yeah.
I mean, maybe he's full of it and overhyping it a little bit.
So many people haven't been to the Masters, so like
it's prestigious.
It's kind of looked at as this thing that's like, oh, the Masters, because no one's really like, not everyone's been. The majority of people have not been to the Masters.
And there's the Masters merchandise that people spend literally thousands of dollars at.
God.
Because it's the only place you can buy it.
I see people walking around today with Masters stuff. So clearly, a couple of people have been to the Masters.
Or it's fake. Sometimes you got to watch out for that.
Right.
But the only authenticated one is at Augusta in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
So.
Hello, friends. So good.
And right now, day one.
Now Rory McIlroy, 5 under, is leading the way. Obviously, if he wins, he'll go back to back.
Last year's was so much fun.
I remember watching that.
The iconic golden sunlight beaming down on him, and he hits it, and his putter just flails up 15 feet in the air as he tumbles to his knees. I mean, it was...
Look at you, just bring the color.
There you go.
Detail.
It was majestic to watch, though.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was the thing that McIlroy was searching for his whole career. And it was almost, he was getting frustrated, and he was saying how, he accidentally parked in the Champions lot, because there's a Champions lot for people that have won it. And he accidentally parked there, and someone had to tell him to move. That same year that he ended up winning it. And it's just it
some
felt,
things are meant to be.
And then he wins it, and now he's going to get to go to the Champions dinner from now until he doesn't want to go anymore. He can be 75 years old, and he can still go back, and he still has the green jacket. And
that's the thing too. Like if you win it, it's
better than
anything else, because you have the jacket, you have everything that comes with it. It truly is.
You die a legend.
You're right, and no one will ever forget your run at the Masters.
And especially if you're Rory. And that was the one thing that eluded his career for so long.
I kind of love the fact that everyone's kind of for the most part, everyone's behind Rory. It was because he hadn't won, and this is obviously last year. Right. Everyone was kind of rooting for him.
He was rooting, but there were also people that were like me, actually. I was rooting for him, but I did find it somewhat entertaining. Every year, watching Rory kind of flail at the end.
Yeah.
And he almost did it.
He almost did.
Remember was it on 7? It was 18 because he won on the playoff hole, right?
One of the last holes, there were a couple suspect moments
because he won it on the playoff hole, and on 18 he had a 5-footer and missed it. And yes,
I believe so.
He did, and that's how the playoff hole got to it, and Rory ends up winning it. And now this year, I talked to you about it off the air during our break. I think he's going to play with some sense of freedom to his game, where. Yes, the goal is to win the Masters every year, but it doesn't feel like he needs to win. It used to feel like the weight of the world was on Rory's shoulders every single year at Augusta, and now that's been lifted, and I think he's going to play some really free golf. And -5 through 18.
I was going to say he's off to a good start playing free golf.
I would argue great start.
Yeah, it's his second best start in a first round at the Masters for Rory. He shot a 65 another year, but that was his best. So 2 strokes above that, but still a good start for Rory McIlroy right now, leading the way in day number 1. Obviously, a bunch of people still in action over in Augusta. Yeah. The Yankees are down to their last out and on the verge of losing
Augusta
their
and
first.
The Yankees.
And switching to baseball, Ben Rice, the Yankees' last hope here in
Who
the
else would
bottom
you rather
of
have
the
up there?
9th. No one. Give me no one other than Ben Rice.
Are you more confident in Ben Rice, Aaron Judge?
I mean,
or Rory
McIlroy. All right, throw Rory up to the dish right now and see how he can do. No, but I mean, listen.
Isn't it crazy that McIlroy and all those guys, they can hit the golf ball the distance of 3 home runs?
Oh,
that just flies.
It's unbelievable. Just right off the club, and it just goes soaring. When I go out there and I play golf, it's just like, where is this slice coming from? Like, I don't know. And obviously, I'm not the only one that deals with this.
No, I know yours is sometimes pretty bad.
Like, really bad. Like, I don't.
Like, you're lining up like you're facing.
Yeah. Oh, I face
out of bounds.
I face out of bounds.
Just
so
to
it,
hope.
So it curves.
And then when you do that, it goes straight.
Yeah, and like I was playing with my grandpa last summer, and I was like grandpa, like, what's wrong? And he would like try to fix it with me. He's like, yeah, like you might just have to get like a professional lesson. like I don't know. This is kind of this is bad, but
this is beyond my pay grade.
This is beyond my pay grade.
Never seen this before.
Exactly. But who knows? Maybe this season I haven't played in a couple months. I treat it like seasons.
Once in a while, I play Ron, so I just can't even get the ball in the air.
Oh yeah, totally. Been there multiple times.
And then McElroy and those guys, they hit the ball 2 feet to the left and they're mad. I'm like,
yeah. Like, what's going on here?
Gorgeous shot to me.
Yeah. Oh, gorgeous. But yeah, fun time. Right now in sports, Yankees just officially lost first loss series of the year. Masters in action. Syracuse men's basketball making moves.
Stuck in the Yankees loss there.
Stuck in the Yankees loss. Didn't want to, but did. Syracuse men's basketball making moves in the offseason. Jerry McNamara, first year as head coach for Syracuse. Excited to see how that carries on in the next couple of months. All right, that'll just about do it here for Drew Alba. I'm Milo Hoffman saying so long on Newhouse Afternoon. We'll see you next Thursday at this same exact time. Take care, everyone.
This is Orange Nation.
With that